Have you ever heard whispers of giants walking the earth? Beings of immense power and mysterious origin? What if I told you these weren't just myths, but are described in ancient texts, including the Bible and the controversial Book of Enoch? Prepare to have your mind blown as we uncover the truth about the Nephilim. The story begins in the book of Genesis, chapter 6. It's a short but incredibly potent passage. It says, "When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose." Then it continues, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them." They were the heroes of old, men of renown. So who are these sons of God? This is where the debate really heats up. Many mainstream interpretations suggest they were righteous men from the lineage of Seth, one of Adam and Eve's sons. In this view, their intermarriage with the daughters of women from the unrighteous line of Cain was a spiritual fall, a blurring of the lines between the faithful and the unfaithful. The Nephilim, their offspring, were simply powerful human leaders, mighty warriors or tyrants, whose wickedness contributed to the moral decay that led to the Great Flood. This is a neat and tidy explanation, keeping everything within the human realm. But another, much more dramatic interpretation exists, and it comes from a text that was once widely read and respected by early Jews and Christians, the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch isn't in most Bibles today, but it was incredibly influential in ancient times, and is even quoted in the New Testament book of Jude. It offers a far more detailed and supernatural account. According to Enoch, the sons of God were not men at all. They were angels, divine beings from the heavenly realm. A group of 200 of these angels, led by one named Samyaza, made a pact. They descended from heaven onto Mount Hermon, driven by lust for human women. This act was a profound transgression, a rebellion against God's divine order. These fallen angels, called the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, taught humanity forbidden knowledge. They revealed the secrets of weaponry and warfare, the art of cosmetics and adornment, sorcery, astrology, and the cutting of roots for magical purposes. It was an infusion of corrupting knowledge that accelerated humanity's slide into sin and violence. The world, as Enoch describes it, became filled with injustice and chaos. And the children of these unions? They were the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch paints a terrifying picture. These were not just men of renown. They were literal giants, monstrous in size and appetite. Enoch says they grew to be 300 cubits tall in astronomical height. They consumed all the food produced by mankind. When that wasn't enough, they began to devour humans themselves. And then, they turned on each other, drinking blood and committing unspeakable acts of cannibalism. They were a plague upon the earth, a hybrid race of celestial and terrestrial beings that corrupted the very fabric of creation. The wickedness of the Nephilim and the corruption brought by the Watchers were so immense, so all-consuming, that it cried out from the earth to heaven. This, according to Enoch, is the primary reason for the Great Flood. It wasn't just about human sin. It was a necessary cleansing, a way for God to wipe the slate clean and eliminate this corrupted genetic line from the face of the planet. God commanded the flood to destroy all flesh, including these giant abominations. The fallen angels, the Watchers, were bound and cast into darkness, into a fiery abyss, to await their final judgment. Now, let's bring it back to the Bible. Does this wild story from Enoch have any biblical support? Well, remember Genesis 6-4? It says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward. That afterward is crucial. It suggests that despite the flood, the Nephilim, or at least their lineage, somehow reappeared. Fast forward to the book of Numbers, chapter 13. Moses sends 12 spies into the promised land, Canaan. When they return, 10 of them give a terrifying report. They say, "The land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Notice they specifically use the word Nephilim and connect them to the Anakim, a known tribe of giants. This report struck fear into the hearts of the Israelites, causing them to rebel against God and wander in the wilderness for 40 years. The Anakim, along with other giant tribes like the Rephaim and Amim, are mentioned multiple times in the Old Testament. The most famous giant of all, Goliath, whom David defeated, is described as coming from the city of Gath, a remnant city of the Anakim. He was over 9 feet tall, a formidable warrior clad in heavy bronze armor. Was he a distant descendant of this ancient, corrupted bloodline? The text seems to hint at it. So, how could this be? How could the Nephilim return after a global flood designed to wipe them out? The theories are fascinating. Some suggest that the genetic trait was carried through one of Noah's daughters-in-law. Others propose that there was a second incursion of fallen angels after the flood, though this isn't explicitly mentioned. Another idea is that the term Nephilim evolved to simply mean giants or mighty warriors, and the spies in Numbers were using the legendary name to describe the fearsome people they encountered. But if we take the supernatural view, the implications are staggering. The story of the Nephilim is not just a curious footnote. It's a tale of cosmic rebellion, forbidden love, and a divine attempt to corrupt God's creation. It reframes the entire narrative leading up to the flood, making it a story of spiritual warfare on a planetary scale. It suggests that throughout history, there have been forces actively working to interfere with humanity, to lead us astray with forbidden knowledge, and to corrupt the human bloodline. Whether you see the sons of God as righteous men or rebellious angels, the story of the Nephilim serves as a powerful cautionary tale. It speaks of the dangers of forbidden unions, the corrupting influence of power, and the catastrophic consequences of blurring the lines between the divine and the terrestrial. It's a story that has captivated thinkers, theologians, and storytellers for millennia, a piece of a much larger, mysterious puzzle about the ancient world. What do you think? Were the Nephilim simply powerful human tyrants from a bygone era? Or were they the monstrous offspring of fallen angels and human women, a hybrid race of giants that plagued the ancient world? The texts leave room for mystery, inviting us to dig deeper, to question, and to wonder about the hidden histories of our world. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed this exploration, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let me know your theories about the Nephilim in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Until next time, stay curious.